I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Kentucky's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association and the Kentucky High School Athletic Directors Association.
And back here at Lexington Catholic, and tonight it's Lexington Lafayette and Lexington Catholic, and a guy that knows a little bit about Lexington Catholic, Mike Mendenhall, the coach of Lafayette. And Coach, I know you've been at this for a while now, but must feel just special coming back into this building.
Yeah, it feels a little bit like coming back home, you know, with all the time I spent up here. My dad was an assistant coach for 27 years. I was coming up here when I was 5 years old, so it's good to come back, see old faces, see some guys that you've known for a long time, and I'm excited about bringing my team over here and showing them what we're doing at Lafayette.
Well, you should be. You got a fine ball club. You got the big fella Ross Jenkins in the middle, and he's been a staple for you the last really several years. The big guy, he's averaging a double-double. Tell us, take us through his progression and how you feel Ross Jenkins has become really a man now as a senior.
Yeah, you know, he's really grown up, and I wish I could take a lot of that credit, but I got to give a lot of it to kids like Jackson Davis and Nick Trisco, who really beat up on him as a freshman and sophomore, and he really learned what works at this level and what doesn't. And you've really seen his game take off the last 2 years.
Your ball club comes into this game with a great 12-3 record. You're ranked in the top 10 in almost every poll you look at in the state of Kentucky. How do you feel at this point in the season? Do you feel like you're making the progression that Lafayette wants to make at this point?
Yeah, I do like where we're at. You know, we're nowhere where we can end up being. Well, I don't think we're peaking too early. But, you know, you can throw that record out the window tonight. This is going to be a battle. We're very familiar with each other. These kids have grown up playing against each other, and Lafayette and Lexington Catholic has turned into a really good rivalry.
Tell us about Luke Johnson. You know, obviously know a little bit about him as well. So tell us what makes him such a terrific scorer for Brandon Salzman.
He can do it all. You know, he can go left, he can go right, but he's really intelligent. He understands the game. He understands how to get his shot off against different defenses, and he's really patient. It's going to be a big challenge for us tonight. I'm excited to see how our guys step up.
It's a district game, and a lot of people feel like it, but it does matter, doesn't it? You've got the district at your house at Lafayette this year, and you want to start off and get another big district win here tonight.
Yeah, you know, in our district, it's so hard, you know, from top to bottom. It's got to be the best in the state, and you just want to avoid getting in that 4-5 game. You know, one seed is great, but you really don't want to have to win 2 games to get to the region. So you try to stay out of that, and winning tonight would go a long way in accomplishing that goal for us.
You know, one of the kids that really stretches the floor for you, Harrison Lane, he shoots a lot of threes, but he makes a lot of threes, and that really opens things up for Jenkins and the other Jenkins and your big guys down low.
Yeah, it really does. He stretches the floor, and even when he's not hitting, you have to respect him so much that you got to send somebody out at him, and that's his role. And sometimes I think he thinks too much because he's such an intelligent player, but that we yell at him all the time, shoot the ball, and he's really doing what his role is for this team.
The relationship between you and Coach Salzman, he just walked by here. You guys have been such good friends over the years. Does that play a factor at all when you go head-to-head like this in these big games?
I think it's a lot like playing your big brother in the backyard and pick up basketball. You know, you love him to death, but in those minutes, you're willing to do whatever it takes to win. And I respect Brandon. He's done a heck of a job. He's responsible for a lot of what I've turned into as a head coach and trying to run a program at Lafayette that mirrors this. And I just can't say enough about the respect I have for him in this program. And I'm excited to see who's going to win this backyard battle tonight.
Well, good luck tonight, Coach. Thanks for your time, and good luck tonight as you take on Lexington Catholic.
All right, thank you.
Mike Mendenhall, and we're back with Coach Brandon Salzman, Lexington Catholic. Thanks to Mike Mendenhall. When I say Mike Mendenhall, I know that's a guy that you're very close with. You guys have been close over the years, and you remain very close.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people in today's world use the word brother a lot, and especially in sports and different things. But when you talk about Mike and me, we really grew up together. You know, we're as close as what brothers can be without actually being brothers. You know, his dad means the world to me. You know, my mom and his grandmother are good friends. You know, and I babysat him, watched him play here, and very proud of what he's been able to do. I mean, every time I turn on, I look for our stuff, and then I immediately find his. And what he's been able to do over there has been just astronomical for a young coach. He's one of the best young coaches in the state, and Lafayette's very lucky to have him. I'd kill to still have him with me, but, you know, we'll compete against each other. It's never a lot of fun. I told him first when I saw him tonight, hey, this is never fun, but we'll go out there and give the people a good show and, you know, see what happens, but we're all still family at the end.
Coach, with him, it starts with the big guy in the middle, Ross Jenkins, and he credited Jackson Davis, Nick Trisco. He said those guys beat up on him as a freshman and sophomore. It's made him the big player. I mean, he's averaging a double-double, 17 points, 12 rebounds.
Yeah, no question. Mike doesn't take enough credit for himself. They've done a great job developing Ross into a great player, and Ross is an exceptional person, too. A Governor Scholar, does all kinds of wonderful things, not just basketball. So that's a credit to his family and who he is and the different stuff. So, you know, not to mention that he's a bear on the basketball court. We're going to have to gear our stuff towards him. You know, we've talked about him all week, so hopefully we'll be able to execute what we want to do in the game plan tonight and see if we can neutralize him.
You had a pretty good three-point shooter, Tanner, that man Johnson, also Dylan Avar. They've got Harrison Lane. You have to constantly know where that kid is because he'll launch it from anywhere.
Well, another kid from a great family, you know, Coach Lane has always been somebody who I've looked up to, and then his dad, Brian, of course, I'm real close to, even though he whips me in golf and stuff. But Harrison is a great shooter. You know, hasn't quite found the stroke that he had last year yet, but it will, knowing our luck, he'll have it against us, and he'll be ready to go. So we'll have to have our defense ready. It's not just Harrison Lane and Ross Jenkins. There's a reason they're really good, and, you know, all their players, T.J. Downey, you know, Eric Powell coming off the bench, they all shoot it very, very well. We're going to have to play really well tonight to be able to be in the game.
Well, Coach, at the beginning of the season, you talked about Johnson being a guy that everybody be familiar with. Well, everybody's familiar with him now. He can flat shoot it, averaging about 26 points a game. But tell us about the progression of the Ogbugus and the Donnie Morrises and the Whitmans and guys like that for you.
Yeah, we've battled through, the success of our football team and injuries all year and tried to get everybody acclimated. And, we've never really kind of hit our stride. We've played a couple of really good games where we've been in, last-second possessions against really good teams, and we've played really bad games this year where our inexperience is shown. So hopefully we won't run out of time and we'll continue to develop. But Donovan Morris has had a great season this year. He's played behind Tanner and Jared his whole career and has had his chance to shine. He's done a great job. When he plays well, we're really good. And then Luke's arguably one of the best players in the state of Kentucky. He does so many things well, and when he's on, he's really tough to guard for other people.
Give us your keys for Catholic to get the win over a very good Lafayette team.
Well, we're going to need to rebound the basketball. They've got one of the best rebounders in the state, but so do we. Zan Payne's been doing a great job, so we're going to have to get out there and really rebound. We're going to have to be able to guard them and not turn the ball over against their pressure and just compete. They're very well coached. You can watch them on tape and see how well they run the press and they do the stuff that we did old school here. So you're going to have to be able to compete. This is like playing a mirror image of ourselves. Mike's got them playing well. We're going to have to get ourselves ready to go tonight.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate your time.
No problem. Thanks for being here tonight, guys.
Brandon Salzman, and, of course, playing his good friend Mike Mendenhall tonight, the coach of Lafayette. It's Lafayette Lexington Catholic when we return to the Buter Gymnasium with the starting lineups. And we're back at Lexington Catholic here tonight, Buter Gymnasium, for the Lexington Catholic Lafayette game. Gary Ball with William Warfield tonight. You heard from both coaches, and they are very dear friends. Coach Mike Mendenhall of Lafayette and Brandon Salzman of Lexington Catholic as they battle here tonight on the night vision. Gary Ball, as I said, here courtside, high atop the court. Thanks for both coaches for joining us on the pregame show. We should have an outstanding matchup here tonight. I was looking at the body of work of these two basketball teams, William Warfield, and I tell you what, even though Catholic's record is not that impressive, when you look at who they've lost to this season, it is impressive. Almost every team they've lost to is a ranked team. When you look at the Louisville Males of the world, it's in the top 5 right now. When you look at the Trinities of the world, teams like that, at Dunbars of the world, I mean, they have not lost to any subpar teams, and the same thing could be said for Lafayette. They're 12-3 and ranked in the top 10 right now, William. But this should be a great battle here tonight, a big 43rd District battle. This has been one of my favorite games since I moved to Lexington about 16 years ago. One of my favorite games to cover is the Lafayette-Lexington Catholic battle, whether it's in basketball, football, whatever they played, in baseball, whatever.
Yeah, and Lexington Catholics kind of got it made. They're in the middle between Lafayette, Lexington Christian. And you got in between the distances between each school, you got big rivalries. Lexington Catholic's got it with LCA, and then Lexington Catholic has it majorly with Lafayette. Being in the same district, you always have big games, and we're just blessed to be in an area that you have 3 teams pretty much on the same strip, if you will, that go head-to-head. And you can even throw Dunbar in there if you want to do that as well, where they're all in the same district. But 4 schools in that vicinity, Gary,
right?
Special game.
Oh, you could literally leave this high school, Lexington Catholic, hang a right and go down, hang a right, and you're at Lafayette High School. You could walk there in about 10-15 minutes from here. That's how close Lafayette is in proximity to Lexington Catholic. We're looking forward to this one tonight. Mike Mendenhall, the coach of Lafayette, they're 12-3. We'll step out, come back, and give you the starting lineups and then the tip-off. It's night vision. It's Lexington Catholic and Lafayette. Here, Gary Ball with William Warfield. We'll return after this on Night Vision.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
And we're back at the Buter Gymnasium campus of Lexington Catholic, and the public address announcer is announcing the starting lineups. Jalen Jenkins will start, a senior for Lafayette. He will start at a guard. TJ Downey, a senior, will start, 10-point average a game. Cameron Greenup, a junior, he will start at a guard spot as well for the Lafayette Generals. Harrison Lane, he will start, a senior, averaging 13 points a game. Ross Jenkins, the big fella, 6'7", senior, averaging 17 points, nearly 12 rebounds. Michael Mendenhall III, the head coach of Lafayette, they're 12-3 and currently ranked in the top 10 in every poll in the state of Kentucky, as high as number 6. Lexington Catholic, coached by Brandon Salzman, their starting lineup tonight will look like this, the same 5 that's been starting most of the season for Brandon Salzman. It will be the sharpshooter Luke Johnson, 6'3", junior, averages 25 points a game. It'll be J.J. Agbugu, a senior, 6'3". Donovan Morris, Donnie they call him, a senior, averaging 14 points a game. Big Zan Payne. Payne is a 6'5", sophomore. He averages nearly a double-double. And 6'6", Peter Whitman, a junior. And Whitman is really coming on strong of late after sustaining an injury early in the season for the Knights of Lexington Catholic. They come in ranked in some polls. I know the Cantrell rankings had them ranked in the top 25 in the state. That's the Lexington Herald Leader poll, and that's based on strength of schedule because Catholic has played a really good schedule this year. So Lafayette will have Downey, Jenkins, Greenup, Lane, and Jenkins. And it will be Donnie Morris, Luke Johnson, J.J. Agbugu, Zan Payne, the rebounding machine, and Big Peter Whitman. That's your 5 for Catholic. They're in the home white tonight with the blue. Lafayette in the red with the white and the blue trim. Lexington Lafayette, as we said, 6 state championships at Lafayette. Catholic, of course, state championships as well. They've got a couple of them at Lexington Catholic. And Big Peter Whitman being announced by the public address announcer here at Lexington Catholic. Earlier tonight, the girls game, the girls varsity played. It's a girl-boy doubleheader, and that was won 40-38 by the Lafayette Lady Generals. Pulled that one out, but Catholic had a shot there late in the game to pull that one out. Peter Whitman will go up. He'll go up against big Ross Jenkins, and they'll have a battle tonight underneath that basket, William. When you look at those big fellows, Ross Jenkins has been a staple at Lafayette. He's a 3-year starter for Coach Mike Mendenhall.
Yeah, and so quick as well, and just excellent talent down there for Lafayette.
Jalen Jenkins takes a tap in backcourt. He bounces over to Downey. Downey goes baseline. He kicks it in the corner to Harrison Lane. Lane dumps it to Jenkins, knocked away by Whitman. And then they swing it back out as Greenham gets it back out now to Jenkins. Jenkins and Downey play catch out front. Johnson's on him. That's Jenkins into the paint area. Hands it now to Downey. Just underway here, and Lafayette with first possession, William. They're being very, very patient here with this first possession.
Yeah, you know, T.J. Downing, you look for him today. I didn't give him who I thought could click for Lafayette, but I think he's going to be the difference maker for Lafayette.
And Ross Jenkins gets it started, a big fella. He's got a nice mid-range jumper, and that's why he shoots 65% from the field.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be D1 talent. He is D1 talent.
2-0 on the Ross Jenkins jumper, right side. Johnson goes over to Zan Payne, and Coach Salzman bragged on him and rebounding. Floater by Johnson hits the side of the board, pulled down by big Ross Jenkins. He'll get a lot of those rebounds tonight. Lead it out to Downey. Left side Harrison to right side. It goes now to Greenup. His shot won't go, and Jenkins got a hand on it. Hands it out top now to Jenkins. Over they go now, and Downey lets it rip off the back of the board, no good, and rebounded, pulled out of there by Lexington Agbugu. Back tap, Johnson gets it back. Hands it over now to Donnie Morris, and long three won't go, but tracked down by Agbugu. Down to Payne, back out to Whitman. Whitman Out top, hands it now to Johnson. Johnson averages 25 points, William. At one point early in the season, he was averaging about 32. Kick and shoot it.
Yeah, he can. This is a big game for him, too, with all of his connections over there at Lafayette.
Payne won't go, but Whitman there to clear won't go. Taps it around. Payne gets it back, hangs, and he is fouled. Good job there by Zan Payne to stay with it. You know what I call that? Stick-to-itiveness.
There you go.
2-0. Lafayette leads on a Ross Jenkins jumper on the right side. Early shooting numbers, 0 for 4 for Catholic, 1 for 3 for Lafayette from the field.
You know, and Z Payne, who's at the line now for Catholic, Gary, you know, he's one of those guys that's really got to step up tonight for Lexington Catholic.
Knocks down the first throw, and the second one rattles in. We're tied at 2. I think we'll be tied a few times tonight before this game's over. 2-2 score. Across the line is Jalen Jenkins. He hands over to T.J. Downey. Back it goes to Jenkins. Greenup trying to free up low, and Lane just posting out in the three-point land. Ross Jenkins working down low. They hand it to Downey. Comes back to Jenkins. Jenkins crossing over, working like Bugu. Over to Downey. Gets it now to Greenup. Cameron Greenup hands it to Lane. And it's partially blocked out there by Donnie Morris, picked up by Payne. Back over to Johnson. 2-2 your score. 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first quarter here at the Buter Gym. Good crowd in tonight for this 43rd District Showdown here at Buter Gymnasium, campus of Lexington Catholic High School. Donnie Morris, Catholic being patient. Johnson into the paint. Luke, nice move, crossover, good. What a move there by Johnson. 4-2, Catholic with the 2-point lead. 5:18 to go, first quarter. Downey thought about it, moves in, gives to Lane. Harrison's open from 3, lets it rip in and out. And good rebound by Whitman as he boxed out there on big Ross Jenkins. Long pass picked up by Morris. Morris back to Agbugu. Now they play catch, Donnie Morris, and he hands over to Luke Johnson. Johnson had that great crossover move last possession. Johnson hands it over to Agbugu. Luke dumps it down to Payne at the free throw line, over to Donnie Morris. He's going to line up the 3. Back of the rim, no. Payne battling, knocks it around. Payne gets it back. Stripped out of there by Lane. Lane leads it out now to Downey. Downey with the layup, up and in. Good pass by Lane and a nice finish by T.J. Downey, and we're tied at 4.
Yeah, Lane gets the guys involved, and with a guy like T.J. Downey putting it in, Gary, makes it easy for him.
Johnson looking down low, Agbugu. He had Whitman, but he takes it himself, reverses, and it rolls in.
That was a nice shot.
He had Peter Whitman wide open, but Agbugu said, I'm going to take it myself, and he finished it. 6-4. Knights on top. That's Cameron Greenup. Lobs down to Jenkins, knocked away by Whitman. Coming down there with it is Agbugu. Has it back tapped by Lane. Second time Lane's got a steal tonight. Lead it out to Jenkins. Jenkins stops left elbow. 10-footer back of the rim, no. Tapped up, no. And coming out of there with a Payne. Well, I tell you, Zan Payne is a rebounding machine.
He might be called for a carry, and he is.
Payne already has 3 rebounds in this game, and we've only played a little over 4 minutes. That's a rebound per minute. Almost.
Yeah, he's definitely pumped for this game.
6-4. Knights on top. They're in the white. Lafayette in the red. Lafayette 12-3, ranked in the top 10, and Catholic was ranked in the top 20 in the Herald Leader poll that came out Monday. Harrison Lane wide open, and he knocks it down from Greenup.
Sweet string music here in Lexington, Kentucky.
Well, Greenup did a good job of finding him out there in that wide open spot as well. 7-6. Johnson, bump, contact, out that goes to Morris. Kicks it over to Agbugu. 3:18 to go in a fast-paced, furious first quarter. 7-6. Lane has just given Lafayette the lead with a three-pointer on the right side from Greenup. Greenup the assist.
Good crowd tonight. Lots of energy coming off these people.
Johnson looking to Zan Payne. Kicks it over in the corner, and there's Agbugu's 3 off the mark. There's Peter Whitman with a rebound. Whitman goes in on Jenkins, hangs and misses it, battles for it back, and Whitman tries to save it back in. Good hustle, and it goes to Lafayette. We're going to have some substitutions checking in. Jaquante Carpenter's going to come in. Evan Drew's going to come in. And
I keep looking at the Whitman meter is what I like to call it. Every game that he has played, he's got better and better and better.
And William Watkins is checked in for Lafayette as well. And we've got some substitutions in. T.C. Price is in for Catholic. And also Max Sparkman is checked in. And Blake Scott. So some 3 new players in for both squads. Lane into the lane, throws it up, blocked, picked up by Sparkman. Max Sparkman with the clear. 2:27. Johnson crossing over down the lane, runs into some players, throws it up, rolls in. What a tough shot by Luke Johnson. My goodness.
He's been watching some old school Pistol Pete movies.
That was under heavy duress. Lane fakes, now lines up to 3, bullseye. Harrison Lane has knocked down his second 3. His first one got blocked, William, but you know what? That does not deter a shooter like Harrison Lane when you get the first 3 blocked.
He's definitely a sharp shooter.
Knocked down 2 of them tonight, 10-8. Your lead is for the visitors from Lexington Lafayette. They didn't come far. I think they probably just walked over here, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, no need to take a bus.
Why bother turning that car on? Johnson still yet to get it across the line, picks up the pace a little bit. Now ball knocked away, picked up by Harrison Lane. He's got a bust out. Payne back, Lane with the left hand, missed it. Stuck back, and foul's going to be called on the stick back attempt by Evan Drew, and he's going to be fouled. Well, we've seen, how many times tonight we've seen Harrison Lane either get a back tap steal or come up with a clean steal like that. That's about his 3rd or 4th steal.
Yeah, he's very active out there on the floor, doing a lot of hustle plays right now. Neither one of these teams have any butterflies early on in this one. You would think that they would, but seasoned veterans out there right now, even though Catholic with a new starting lineup this year.
Drew missed the free throw. Eric Powell, the sophomore, in, so Coach Mendenhall going deep into his bench. He's already gone about 9 players into that bench. Morris comes in, and coming back out will be Price, the sophomore, for Lexington Catholic. 1:48, 10-8, but Lafayette can add to the lead. Evan Drew with his second free throw, and short, rebounded by Payne. I'm going to keep checking Payne's rebounding for you. That's 4 rebounds for Z. Payne. Payne down the lane, hanging, missed it, rebounded by Harrison Lane. They kick it out now to Carpenter. Carpenter to the basket and scores. Tough shot by Jaquante Carpenter.
He sensed that the defense was coming up behind him, did a little double pump right there up off the glass. Good.
To the basket, hanging, scoring is Donnie Morris. What a nice move. Kind of spun his body around the defender and used the defender almost as a shield and then banked it home. And Morris with the basket.
You know, he Luke Johnson, and J.J. Abugu, all 3 of them are very capable of altering their shots mid-air to have an opportunity to hit that basket. They do it so well.
Lafayette shooting 42% here early on. Lexington Catholic 33%. Morris completing that. It's 12-11 now. With that 3-point play. Well, that'll cut into a 4-point lead when you get the 3-point play real quick like that by Donnie Morris.
Absolutely.
Bounce to left side. Powell, his shot won't go. Pulled out of there by Agbugu. Leads out to Donnie Morris. Morris into the lane, hanging, and blocked by Watkins. Whistle foul called, 1:02, and that will send to the line again Lexington Catholic's Donnie Morris.
Catholic's coming out tonight, and they're playing just like they started in the game against Trinity, just like they started in the game against Dunbar. They're going to have an opportunity tonight to try to defeat these Lafayette Generals, who, number 9 in the state?
Well, some polls as high as number 6, but as I said, Cantrell rankings in the Herald Leader, they had Catholic ranked in the top 20 this week as well. That's based on what I was talking about in the
power rankings.
Power rankings and strength of schedule. I mean, they haven't lost any cupcakes.
No.
Speaking about Catholic.
Well, you take that into consideration. You take into consideration, hey, some of these guys played on the football team that went to a state championship too.
Out top it goes Jenkins, and he knocks it down with the pass from Watkins. 15-12 after Cat. Here's a steal by Jenkins. In the middle he goes now. Drew, and that shot won't go. Battle for good rebound by Scott. He leads it out to Morris. He's got Agbugu out in front of him. Agbugu, strong move to the basket. He is fouled hard by William Watkins.
He was slapped right there on the cheek. And his head was up around the box there, Gary, so it wouldn't surprise me if he might have hit the other side of his head up against that backboard there.
They list JJ at 6'3".
But he can leap out of the gym, too.
He can leap out of the gym, so you add that verticality to that good height. Free throw in and out. 15-12. Lafayette on top. 43rd District battle here. The 43rd District tournament will be at Lexington Lafayette this year. Free throw knocked down there by Agbugu. 43rd District is at Lafayette, 11th region this year, is at the Frankfort Convention Center. So we're looking forward to all that coming up in just about a month and a half.
Yeah, we'll have all that on PrepSpin and Night Vision, and just looking forward to some playoff basketball not too far away.
District start Monday, February 22nd, if you're keeping score at home, and we know you are.
Hey, that's about 40 days from now. Isn't it?
Yes, sir. 15-13 here. Lafayette lead and leather, as I like to say. Don't know why I like to say it, I just do. Drew, and that's going to be a bump, and that's going to be a foul there, and it's going to be called on Harden, the freshman who checked in under the radar on me. Harden picks up the foul. Team's second foul, 14 fouls against Lafayette. Generals will put it in play with 10.8 seconds here in the first quarter, 15-13. Been a good one here in the first period. Drew into the paint area. Drew to the basket, blocked away there, and Sparkman got a piece of him as well, and they're going to call the foul on Max Sparkman. Looking at some numbers here for you, William Moorfield. 4 of 12 for Catholic from the field, 6 of 15 for Lafayette. Rebounding, 12-7 edge for Catholic right now, leading the way is Payne with 4 of those 12 rebounds.
Well, if you take out rebounding, it's kind of as even as that national championship football game last night. Did you pull up ESPN and look at the graphics on there, how they had the different numbers compared, you know, on the chart? It was a chart that had the school colors on there, and they were all even.
Yeah, what a game for Alabama. Crimson Tide rolled 45-40. Free throw knocked down there by Lafayette's Drew. Here's a half-court shot. It's going to be well off the mark by Morris. As we enter the second quarter, Lexington Lafayette 16, Lexington Catholic 13 here at the Buter Gymnasium. We'll return with second quarter action here after this timeout.
I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
Back tonight on Night Vision, Gary Ball with William Moorfield. We want to thank, of course, Collins Bowling Centers in Eastland and Southland Drive. Collins Bowling Lanes. I tell you what, they got the big special going on right now.
They do got the big special right now. For $39.95, you get $99 worth of entertainment over there. Save you some money just by mentioning that you heard it here on Night Vision.
And UK Federal Credit Union also a sponsor on Night Vision. Yep. Thanks to those folks as well. Starting second quarter action, Johnson will try to put it in play for the Knights. Loops it out to Donnie Morris. Morris double teamed in backcourt, gets it to Agbugu. There's a triple team there. He leads it out to Donnie Morris. Payne was open. Morris didn't see him, but a reaching foul is going to be called, and it's going to go on Eric Powell of Lafayette. Just underway here in the second quarter, 16-13. Lexington Lafayette on top of Lexington Catholic. Gary Ball with William Moorfield. And who's our videographer tonight? Is that Mr.
That's Joe Allen.
That's
tonight.
Mr. Allen, yeah. Big Joe.
Big Joe went down to football with us, didn't he?
Johnson spinning, lost a handle on it. Coming out of there with it is Evan Drew. Drew to the basket, hanging, left hand throws it up, and it comes down and bounds off of him, and it'll go to Catholic. Wow. Drew thought he was fouled.
That's a highlight reel right there, Mr. Ball.
Ball came right back down on top of him, didn't it? Laying out of bounds.
We'll say that one and play
Johnson
that one back.
Couldn't get it in bounds. It's forced to call a timeout with 7:41 to go here in the first half. Timeout on the floor with Lexington Lafayette 16 and Lexington Catholic 13 here at the Buter Gym. Nice crowd in here tonight for this Tuesday night affair. Lafayette, of course, 12-3, ranked in the top 10 in the state. In some polls, as high as number 6 in the state. AP poll, they're ranked number 9, as William said.
We're going to look at that. Watch this block again by Morris. Speed her up a little bit. There's the block, and it comes down.
Right on top of him, out of bounds. That ball goes to Lex Cath.
How about that?
Don't see that too often, do you? So far tonight, Harrison Lane leading the way for the Generals with 6 points. Ross Jenkins hit that first jumper out of the right side, but been kind of quiet since then. But Lane's knocked down a couple of big threes. And Donnie Morris has 4 points. And Luke Johnson has 4 to lead the way for Lexington Catholic. Luke Johnson is checked out. Harden is in. Harden, Morris, Ogbugu, Whitman, and Zan Payne. Ogbugu's got it across the timeline. Lost the handle on it, picked up by Morris, and he's going to be called for traveling. Turn it over to Lafayette. Harrison Lane back in, and going out will be Drew.
Well, these two teams, we mentioned about the state football. Both teams made it to the state football championship. Right. Down there in Bowling Green. They playing tonight again. And, boy, I love these district rivalries between these two.
Carpenter's shot won't go, but Ross Jenkins there to clear, goes to work. Hook shot, knocks it down. That's vintage Ross Jenkins right there.
That looks like Bill Lambert, the Pistons back in the day.
Or Bill Walton.
Yeah, there you go.
For that little hook shot. Foul was called against Lafayette's Jaquante Carpenter. 18-13. This 5-point lead is the biggest that either team's had tonight. Lafayette leading by 5. 7:14 to go in the first half. Johnson throws it off the back of a player, Jenkins, to the basket, hanging. Can't get it to roll in. Rebounded by Ross Jenkins. Clears out to Powell. Powell, and he's going to run into Payne, and it's going to be a little bit too much body there by Payne.
Powell and Payne. You realize what you just said? Powell, right. Payne.
And we know, that's right, and we know that Zan Payne's father, Kenny Payne, will not be in the crowd tonight because he's coaching right down the road here at Rupp Arena. They're playing Mississippi State tonight.
Yep. I'm sure that he'll go back and watch it on demand here on Night Vision.
Lob way out front goes to Jenkins in the corner. Carpenter to the basket, blocked away by Whitman with some authority.
He said, "This is my house. You can't bring that in here."
Peter Whitman getting more aggressive every game, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. Lane
knocked away by Payne. Those are right back to Jaquante Carpenter. Back to Harrison Lane. Back to Jenkins. Jenkins hooks it up and in. They're going to count the basket. What a great dish by Harrison Lane. Finding the open man. In traffic, no doubt. Under a lot of duress. Say it ever how you want to say it.
You're absolutely right.
Tough shot.
And what a power put back up there by Jenkins.
Jenkins now with 6 points. Ball on the floor picked up by Whitman. Out to Luke Johnson. They need it. He knocks it down. Johnson with 7 now. And that cuts that lead to 20-16. A big three by Luke Johnson, who can rip the cords with regularity. Number 10 for the Knights. And he does theirs with that silky smooth left-handed stroke from the left side by number 10, and he's got 7 points already.
Yeah, that's the timeout right there. We're saying, hey, we got to get somebody out there on Luke. We can't leave him that open. Doesn't matter if he's beyond NBA range when he takes those threes. If he's at half court, you better guard him.
He can make it from the Danny Haney court logo there. The writing they've got on the court here. Well, what a nice high school basketball facility here at the Buter Gymnasium. They built it 94 feet because they knew if they advanced into tournament play at Eastern or Rupp Arena, they'd be playing on a college-sized floor. So that's very smart. Well, we know they're smart here at Lexington Catholic. It's a blue ribbon school.
Absolutely.
You went to school here, didn't you?
I did not. No, I did not.
I don't know why I thought you were a Catholic guy.
No, Jessamine Catholic. My mom went to here.
Okay, your mom went to Catholic.
My mom was a Catholic.
Gotcha. Downing, out top. Jalen Jenkins, that's off the mark. Rebounded by Payne. He's got 6 rebounds already. Z Payne. Morris stops it. High off glass and knocks it down. Donnie Morris says, I'm going to use that glass from that left angle.
I do claim Catholic as my home, though.
I know that. We both are very, and Lafayette, of course, 6 state championships. Lane, over goes to Carpenter. Jaquante dumps it back to Jenkins, and he powers it up and in. Jenkins with 8 points now. Jenkins has come alive here. Here's Donnie Morris. 3-on-2 goes to Payne. Payne hangs off glass. It will count. He will get the soup and the sandwich.
We'll take another look at this shot by Payne here, Gary. Watch it here as goes up and finishes it. And like you said, the soup and the sandwich, my friend.
Rafferty's Restaurants. Payne knocks it down from the line. He's got 5 points to go with those rebounding. 6 rebounds already for Payne. He might have a double-double at halftime at this rate. 5:47 to play. First half, 22-21. William, we got another good old good one between Lafayette and Catholic. Jenkins.
Just think real quick, Gary, if you can, all the different games that we've been able to catch over the years of Lafayette and Lexington Catholic.
What a great move and stop by Downey. TJ said, take that. Downey with a nice stop and pop. 24-21. Here's Donnie Morris. Over right side it goes to Price. Shot won't go there for Catholic. Rebounded by Whitman. He powers it up over Jenkins, taking it right at the big fella. I like the aggressiveness tonight of Peter Whitman.
Let's take, absolutely, but let's go ahead and take another look at this TJ Downey shot.
Man, he just let everybody glide past him. A little stop and pop.
Here we go here.
Little crossover, stop, spin, knocked it down. Big time move there.
Still learning the slow and the quick on the replay.
Shooting percentages up. Lafayette's percentage up to 45 and Catholic's percentage up to 42%. Greer back into the game. Going out will be Carpenter. 24-21, but Whitman has an opportunity to cut into that lead at the charity stripe. Big 6'6" junior, southpaw, knocks it down. 24-22. Lafayette by 2. Check Ross Jenkins, Harrison Lane, Downey, Jalen Jenkins, and Greer. Same 5 that started for Lafayette.
I want to give a shout out to Dr. Steve Angelucci that's watching back at home or wherever he may be, but I know he's watching tonight, so just send a shout out to him.
Greer missed the layup, rebounded by Jenkins, blocked away Whitman, foul called. Let's see who they called that on. Coach Salzman's telling somebody to get to the backside. Called that foul on Whitman. That's first foul on Big Peter, and of course we talked about it. Younger brother, Big Jack Whitman, Mr. Warfield, boy, 6'9" Jack. What's that, sir?
I was fumbling my mic there.
Gotcha. Here's Ross Jenkins, and in and out. Normally a good free throw shooter. Jenkins is 77%, William.
Yeah, he's he can hit those free throws.
In trouble is Price. Price has it stripped away by Jenkins. Jenkins to the basket, scores. Jalen Jenkins is stripping the score. 26-22. Lafayette by 4. Their biggest lead's been 5. Price in trouble. Gives it back to Donnie Morris. Well, I tell you, Lafayette really comes with the pressure. I'm impressed with their defense.
They almost play like Golden State does in the NBA.
Johnson missed it, picked up. Agbugu turns and scores. Agbugu says, thank you very much. Agbugu now in the ball game with 5 points and 4 rebounds.
Yeah, JJ's having a good game.
26-24, Lafayette by 2. Hand it back to Harrison Lane, and he stops and pops. Harrison Lane.
Is he not the best three-point shooter in the district right now?
9 points. He has made 3. He's got 3 threes tonight.
There's the other guy that could consider it too, is Johnson.
We got 2 of the best three-point shooters in the state here tonight, Luke Johnson and Harrison Lane. Lane's made 3, and of course Johnson buried that deep one earlier. 29-24, Johnson right side, he knocks it down right on cue. That's double figures for Luke already with 10.
It's raining threes.
29-27, 3:29. Downey tries to throw it back to Greer, throws it away, and Luke Johnson helps the official a little bit. And they're pointing that way, and the official said, you know what, you're right.
Officials are on it tonight. You got 3 good ones in the game here this evening.
Rebounding right now. Edge is 18-10 for Catholic, and Payne has 6, and Agbugu has 5 rebounds, William. So they've got 11 rebounds. Johnson, right side, cut off, out to Donnie Morris. A long 3 that will give him the lead, and it's off the iron. Rebounded by Payne. He's got 7 now. Right side, he's hammered. Throws it up. Foul's going to be called.
It was that swat at the ball that, it's kind of like a hammer coming down on you that got Lafayette in trouble there on the foul.
Really good crowd here tonight for this 43rd District battle. Gary Ball, William Warfield, Joe Allen here on Night Vision.
Joe Allen, our intern, he's from Kentucky State University.
And he
helping us out tonight.
Yeah, did the KHSAA football championships with us. Payne missed the second free throw after he knocked down the first one, and it's 29-28. With the basketball, Lafayette, Jalen Jenkins has it, and Catholic is in a zone defense right now, William.
Yes, sir. And it's a 3-2 zone that they're broke down into.
Ball knocked away as Jenkins was trying to go to Lane, who's got those 3 threes. Harrison, Lane, and here's going to be a foul on the drive there. I tell you, I really like the aggressiveness of T.J. Downey, William. He is really taking it strong to the basket.
Yeah, he's playing very aggressive here in the first half, and he'll do that the whole game. There's no quit. And actually, I know TJ's mom pretty well, and she's the same way. She's the same way, so I know where he gets it from.
Downey's free throw is good. Downey has 5 points. Leading scorers, Luke Johnson with 10. And Harrison Lane with those 3 threes has 9 for Lafayette.
You can't help yourself. You got stats in front of you, and you're still writing them down.
It helps me in the flow of the game when I write them, keep my own scoring, you know what I'm saying? Helps me just with the flow of it, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
31-28, Lafayette by 3. Johnson over to Ogbugu, 2:34, Payne. Jump passes it back to Luke Johnson. Bounces over to Ogbugu. Catholic looking at that zone defense by Lafayette. Zan Payne wants to set a pick. Johnson into the paint. Dumps it back over. Donnie Morris's 3. Bullseye.
And you notice what Johnson did right there, too. As soon as he dumped it over there to Morris, he kind of went that way, so it almost was a screen, if you will.
Out of the right side, and that shot by Powell won't go. Battle for it. Jenkins has got it, and we're going to have a grab called on Johnson.
Yeah. How about 31 all right now? And this game, it's been fast-paced so far. Like you said, very aggressive. I think that's the best word to kind of describe this one.
Ross Jenkins, let's look at his body of work tonight, if you don't mind, Mr. Warfield.
Yes, sir.
Ross Jenkins now has 9 points and 7 rebounds.
And you know, the average Lafayette is, as far as points per game right now, is about 76 points per game.
Right. Ross now is a couple of rebounds away from a double-double. We're not even to halftime. We still got 1:53 in the first half. Payne has 7 rebounds to lead the way for the Knights. 33-31. Lafayette by 2 points, but Catholic has the basketball. Brandon Salzman calling out to play. They kick it over the right side to Luke Johnson, who's got those 10 big points. Payne baseline, hangs up over Jenkins. Won't go. Payne gets it back, throws it up, draws the foul. That's who they call that on.
That guy's working hard
tonight. Oh, my goodness. Overtime, isn't he?
I mean, he's really, really hustling underneath there.
And 8 rebounds for Payne. And Salzman called him out in the pregame interview, said, you know, they got a great rebounder in Jenkins, but we got a really good rebounder in Zan Payne.
Yep. I mean, you can't not hustle like that. I mean, whether you're on my team or the other team, if you're playing like that, you deserve that basketball.
Payne, good-looking free throws by the 6'5 sophomore. He's going to be a good one here at Catholic. Can you imagine him in a couple of years after that body fully develops and his IQ keeps going up? He will be a force. He's already a force.
He's already a superstar.
Yeah, he has 8 points, 8 rebounds. There's Lane, three-pointer back of the rim, no, from our broadcast partner, Harrison Lane, who joined us for a tournament game last year on our broadcast. Out top, there's the 3, front of the iron, no, and rebounded coming out of there with it's Jalen Jenkins. JJ Jenkins goes in on Morris, hangs and lays it up and in. That's not easy to do against Morris.
He had Morris, and then he also had Johnson there, so he had to alter his shot a little bit and still got it to go down.
35-33. Lafayette back by 2. Lafayette answers every time Catholic comes back. Lafayette answers, don't they? They've led by as many as 5. They lead by 2 right now. What a great first half of high school basketball. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hope you've enjoyed it here on PrepSpin and Night Vision. Payne turns, rips, won't go. Rebounded by Lafayette's Cameron Greenup.
That's one of the best names I think anybody's had for a online network for a school is Night Vision.
Night Vision. Cool? I like it. I like it a lot. Great folks here at Lexington Catholic. They've always treated me and yourself very well over the years.
Oh, they're like family here.
Down to 13 seconds here, and Lafayette's just going to pound it down and take the lead into the locker room, which either will be 2 or 4, depending. Lane thought about the 3. Lane is going to be bumped and fouled, and that will send a really good free throw shooter to the line. When I say really good free throw shooter, he's one of the tops in the district and the region at 85%.
Yeah, I'd say that probably ranks pretty high in the state as well.
And Harrison will be looking for double figures. He has 9 points on 3 threes, and now he's got 10 points with the free throw. So Lane joins Luke Johnson in double figures and Ross Jenkins in double figures. So the 3 big superstars have all stepped up tonight.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Lane now with 11. 37-33. Morris, Gizdock Bugu launches from half court, and it's off the mark. We go to the locker room, and Lafayette leading Lexington Catholic here at halftime, 37-33, behind Harrison Lane and Ross Jenkins, as they have combined for 21 points and 9 rebounds for Lafayette, and Lexington Catholic being led by Luke Johnson with 10 and Payne with 8 points, 8 rebounds. Also 9 points to Moores. We'll come back with halftime here at the Buter Gymnasium. Halftime score 37-33, Lexington Lafayette on top of Lexington Catholic here on Night Vision.
I'm not happy with my teeth. They're not straight enough.
Let me fix them for you.
No. You are not White, Greer, and Maggard.
I'm sort of like White, Greer, and Maggard. I'm local, love smiles, love to fix things.
No.
Sorta you isn't you. White, Greer, and Maggard, where a beautiful smile is just the beginning.
There's something special in the air at the University of Louisville. Investment and constant progress are helping today's students and faculty unleash their potential, discover new answers, open more doors, give back to others, see new worlds. skills and become champions in everything they do. Now, more than ever, it's a great time to be a Louisville Cardinal.
It may not require a textbook, but it's filled with valuable lessons. It may not take place in a classroom, but it's an ideal environment for learning. It may not involve a diploma, but it can help prepare Kentucky's young people for life. It's high school sports. High school sports can play a critical role in a student's overall education. In fact, studies show that students that participate in high school sports are more likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in their academic lives. If you think high school sports are only about competition, think again. Better yet, think about attending a high school sporting event in your community. You'll be amazed by what you see. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education. This message presented by the Kentucky High School Athletic Association and the Kentucky High School Athletic Directors Association.
And we're just about set for the second half of action, and you can see from the graphic that William Warfield has up there, Harrison Lane leading the way with 11 points here at halftime. Ross Jenkins, 10 points, 7 rebounds. Lexington Catholic being led by their superstar, Luke Johnson, with 10 points. And Zan Payne, who just consistently hits those boards, averaging nearly a double-double this year, has 8 rebounds to lead everybody in rebounding here at halftime.
Yeah, he's had an outstanding first half. I know Dad will be proud when he goes back and watch the game here on demand, thanks to Night Vision and here at Lexington Catholic, and of course PrepSpin.
High definition quality, HD, and Buter Gymnasium looks beautiful in this HD quality. Of course, we did the football season, and that was a lot of fun. Of course, William Warfield knows my passion. I love high school sports, love high school football.
Yeah,
that's my favorite.
You just love high school sports in general, man.
In general, yeah, that's true.
I've seen you at many sporting events, and even when you don't call them, you're still there sometimes just watching them.
Yep. Scholastic Ball reports back on after winter break, and this week, Lafayette, by the way, the team out here tonight against Catholic is going to be our team of the week. That'll be Sunday at noon on the CW.
We need to put together a Gary Ball Invitational.
We'll do that. That sounds like a winner to me. And of course, you and I have talked about we're going to put together our own poll. You know, Bluegrass Preps has got a great poll. We like Rob Batchgalupo. I'm a big Bluegrass Preps person. Harold Leader has their poll. Lakeland House Courier Journal. All these other polls, we're going to start us a poll up too.
Right, yeah, I think the PrepSpin Power 40 needs to be born and get it out there. You know, the one thing that drives me crazy, and I'll just throw this out there, is that you see the Associated Press poll, but they never ask for our input on it.
And
I think we're just as qualified as anyone, in my opinion.
That's writers. Josh Moore, who's a good friend of ours, probably gets a vote on that. Mike Fields used to vote on that.
I mean, and there's other polls out there that, you know, that need input, but they never ask us, and we've seen more basketball than anyone, I think, out there.
Our good friend Rob Batchgalupo is probably watching. He'll probably get us involved in that Bluegrass Preps poll.
Yeah.
We can maybe get a vote in that. 37-33. It's not about voting, though. It's just about giving these kids some great high school coverage, and you certainly do that, William.
Well, yeah, I mean, I just love what we do, man.
Yeah.
I'm like you, you know. I guess that's what makes us click so well, is that we just love what we do. Not only for the kids, but for the schools, for the coaches. You know, it's about trying to get those kids to the next level and getting them noticed out there and giving them more opportunity, and that's what this whole thing's about.
Yeah, I don't know how many coaches have told me that they really, really enjoyed being able to watch the Traditional Bank Classic. Here's a turnaround, a shot knocked down by Payne, and they said they wouldn't have been able to see it if it hadn't been for the great coverage on PrepSpin. 37-35. Payne now approaching that double-double. That's 10 points. He's a couple of rebounds away. Shot won't go for Lafayette. Battle for it, coming out of there with it. Johnson. Luke Johnson streaking, being chased. Johnson to the basket, scoop, and he traveled before he scooped it up and in. Boy, Cameron Greenup was really giving chase, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. A little late call there by the official after the shot went in before he said, hey, you walked.
Yeah. That'd have been interesting. Probably should have counted that one. 37-35, Jalen Jenkins.
Salzman must have agreed. He didn't say too much there.
No. Downey, Ross Jenkins. That's Greenup. Out to Lane, a three-pointer. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Catholic's Donnie Morris. Leads it out to Johnson. Johnson hangs, and this time they're going to call the charge. And Johnson thought it should have been a block.
Johnson was looking over. The official said, hey, count it. And then the official then looks at him and points the other direction.
That's a third foul on Johnson.
Coach Salzman says, what's the charge? If that's not a charge, what's the charge?
Jalen Jenkins for the Lafayette Generals. They lead by 2. Donnie Morris picks it up out high. Now Lafayette's going to run some offense here and run some clock. Johnson is on Lane right now. Out top, there's a three-pointer. Back of the rim won't go for Greenup. Pulled out of there by Johnson. He leads it out to Donnie Morris. Morris crossing over. Little floater. Back of the rim, no. Rebounded by Ross Jenkins. That was a man rebound right there.
That was. And I meant blocking foul, by the way.
9 rebounds now. Good spin move by Harrison Lane. Throws it up, and he is fouled. And the foul's going to be on Donnie Morris, and that'll send Harrison Lane to the line, where tonight Mr. Lane is 2 for 2. Harrison Lane with 11 points. rolls that one in there. 12 for Harrison. I saw his father, Brian Lane. He's down there at midcourt here in the crowd to coach at Transylvania University.
Coach Mendenhall, he's pretty much Brandon's prototype there, isn't he?
Yeah. He's working that sideline. They got the
good coaches create good coaches.
Yes, they do. That's what they say about Krzyzewski. A lot of his players and former coaches. Here's Whitman to the basket with authority. Peter Whitman throwing it down.
Peter inside the lane there, dropping it like it's hot here on the Generals.
My goodness. That was with some force.
Yeah, he used some authority on that.
Free throw in and out. Rebounded by Ross Jenkins. Falls to the floor but gets it over to Greenup, and Greenup hands it back now to Jalen Jenkins. 39-37. Lafayette by 2, 5:20 to go in the third quarter here at the Buter Gymnasium. Ball knocked away. Whitman tried to come from behind, and as he reached through William, they call a foul on Peter Whitman.
You know, that's one thing that Whitman does get a lot of is he'll get some of those, what I like to call silly fouls there, as you know, he's trying to work hard on defense and he gets rung up by the officials every single time, it seems like.
Downey into the paint, little floater over Whitman, got it.
Yeah. Downey put a lot of arch on that ball.
41-37, Lafayette by 4. Donnie Morris for Catholic, loops it over to Luke Johnson. Johnson in the middle. Johnson has it knocked away on the floor. Ball picked up by Whitman. Whitman powers it up. No, but Whitman showing some force tonight.
Did you see like the triangle defense that came in there on Johnson as he was dribbling the ball inside the lane? You had 3 hands from Lafayette in there trying to take that ball away from him. He still almost got out of it. Luckily, Whitman was in the right place at the right time.
And Jaquante Carpenter just checked in for the Generals, and going out was Cameron Greenup. Free throw too strong for Whitman. That's one area Peter would like to improve is his free throw shooting.
That young man's been hitting those weights because he's shooting free throws like that tonight. He must have been pumping iron all day yesterday.
Second one is pretty.
Salzman, he must have said, "Not so hard, Peter, not so hard."
41-38, 4:49 here in the third quarter.
He kept hitting the back of the rim.
Whitman with 4 points, 5 rebounds, and that shot won't go there, but rebounded by Agbugu. Gives to Johnson, so Kath, three-pointer away from tying this game up. One possession game now. Payne turns, free throw line, bullseye. Z Payne delivering the Payne. That's 12 points for the big fella. He's a couple of rebounds away from a double-double. 12 points for Z Payne.
Z Payne's the man.
He's the man tonight. 41-40. What a ball game here tonight at Lexington Catholic. Gary Ball, William Warfield, and Joe Allen here on night vision. Shot won't go for Carpenter. Whitman taps it out. Great recovery there by Agbugu. Leads it out to Payne. Payne crossing over. Harrison Lane picks it up. Payne to the basket. Floats it up. Rolls out of there. Rebounded by Lafayette. That would have given Catholic the lead. With it is Downey. Downey runs into Donnie Morris, and Morris is going to pick up the foul. And
this one's living up to the billing of we might have a buzzer beater here tonight the way this one's going.
We've had some great games this year on Night Vision and PrepSpin. Really enjoyed it. Lane thought about the three. Harrison to the basket, floats it up, rolls out, rebounded by Agbugu. Harrison wondering how that one didn't go. 41-40. Catholic can take the lead. Morris runs into the Lafayette. The shot went in, but they're going to say the foul, I think, came before that against Drew, Evan Drew.
Morris probably a little lucky on that as he did lower that shoulder, and usually that's an automatic charge, but he got out of that one.
Eric Powell checks in, and Harrison Lane goes out. Lane leaves with 13 points. 41-40, 3:42 in the third here at the Buter Gymnasium. Great crowd for this 43rd District Showdown tonight. Blake Scott is checked in there. They go back to him, hits his foot. He wasn't expecting the pass back from Johnson. Blake Scott, not sure what the pass was. Coach Salzman's upset.
Yeah, Salzman thought Lexington Catholic should have that ball back there. But I don't know if they called over the back or what on Catholic. I thought Lafayette touched it.
Evan Drew has it. Drew into the paint on Johnson. Over now. Give it out top to T.J. Downey. Baseline move, pass out top to Powell, and Powell lets it rip and knocks it down. That's a three-pointer for Powell. That's his first three-pointer of the game, William, and the lead is back to 4, 44-40.
That was a pretty shot.
Johnson bounces to Donovan Moores. Donnie now across the line, and he's going to be fouled on a reach as he's scissored in between Drew and Powell. Second foul on Eric Powell. 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Catholic down 44-40, but they have the basketball. They're in the white, Lafayette in the red. Lafayette ranked, and Catholic also ranked in the top 20 in the Cantrell rankings. Mercer County's a really good ball club this year. We're going to see them in the Jock Sutherland Classic coming up in a few weeks over at Lafayette.
Yeah, I think they were ranked number 1 in one poll. And
what a nice shot by Scott. Blake Scott just lined that baby up and knocked it down from 3. Cuts it to 1. What a shot by Scott.
It makes me think of Back to the Future. I say, great Scott.
That Blake, I tell you, early in the year he was starting, and before the football players, Morris and Ogbugu came back, and he was averaging double figures.
I mean, you're just full of knowledge here.
Well, that's before Donovan and Ogbugu came off that state championship final game when they lost to that Belfry team. And by the way, I've been talking to some football experts, people that know their football.
Yeah.
They think that Belfry team that beat Lexington Catholic in that final, the way they played in that championship, they think they were the best team. They could beat Bowling Green, Male, or any of those teams that won state championship. Your thoughts on that, Mr. Warfield? You were there and covered all those games.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And, Belfry, I mean, you grow up in Belfry, you want to play football. That's just how it is, man. It means so much to those people down there.
Yeah.
It's a different, you're here in a big city. Here in Lexington, you got a lot more opportunity there.
Yeah.
Your only opportunity is play football.
My man Jayhawk, who does my Sunday morning radio show on WVLK 590, he told me they went down there early in the year and played that Belfry team. Tates Creek did, and he said, Gary, they love their football in Belfry.
Yeah,
he's from Georgia. He's from the state of Georgia, where they love their football, high school football too.
Georgia, Florida, and Texas.
That's right.
Those are big states for football.
45-43, folks. We got another good one here on Night Vision. Gary Ball, William Warfield, Joe Allen, our videographer. Johnson in the middle, goes to Ogbugu, and he's going to be fouled by Watkins. William Watkins went after him a little bit too much. I like Watkins. He wears the glasses and looks like a bookworm, but, man, he will flat knock you out of the gym if you let him.
Hey, don't judge those bookworms
That's exactly
by the cover,
right. That's exactly right.
It looked like little Jackson Davis out there.
46-43. Ogbugu fakes, goes left baseline out to Scott. Blake will line up a deep 3. Back of the rim, no. And rebounded by Jaquante Carpenter. Jalen Jenkins, 2:07. Over goes to Powell. Ball knocked away, but there's Watkins, and he is going to be pushed. And I think they're going to call a foul there on Catholic, and I think it's going to go on Sparkman. Yep.
Yeah, Sparkman was trying a little hard to get to that basketball, which you can't blame him if you're coach here on the sideline. That was, good hustle there.
William, we played 5 minutes and 58 seconds of basketball in the second half. There have been 14 fouls called already.
Yeah, well, a big game like this, sometimes officials like to have that third quarter to themselves. But
yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just relaying the facts. That's the fact, Jack.
You're not going to go off like the Bengals did.
Oh, no. I watched that game. They imploded. I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah, that was bad.
Burfict got suspended, by the way, for the first 3 games of this year.
I remember that, yeah.
48-43. Scott loops it back to Luke Johnson. Way out top. Zone D. Here's Payne. Turn around for 15. Back of the rim, no. And rebounded by Powell for Lafayette. Lafayette's got a lot of cheerleaders underneath that basket down there. So does Catholic, though.
A little big district game. The cheerleaders come out in full force, and I say each team probably got, 20, 25 of them?
I agree.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Ball stripped away, and Lafayette gets it back.
Big 3.
Too strong, nice rebound by Payne. Zan Payne now with 12 points, 10 rebounds.
Well, double-double.
Got his double-double, and we still got a quarter to go. Got 1:09 here in the third.
How is he on the other stats? Anything?
Payne?
Assist or anything like that?
We'll check that for you.
I know he definitely don't have enough steals to even be close.
He's got 2 assists.
Okay.
Johnson has 5, by the way. Skips it over to Blake Scott. Agbugu left side. Agbugu to the basket, hanging and knocking it down. That's a big-time shot right there by J.J. Agbugu.
That's a big basket. You're right.
48-45. Lead cut to 3 with 40 seconds to go in the third period here at the Buter Gymnasium on the campus of Lexington Catholic. Lafayette, the 43rd district opponent tonight.
Ooh, nice
in the paint, Drew. Kicks it over now, Powell. Powell backs it back out of there. Remember, Powell hit that deep 3 earlier in this quarter. So he's getting a little bit more attention from the Catholic defense now.
It's like watching a big boxing fight. You're waiting for the fourth quarter to get here. Catholic's kept it close. So
see if somebody can throw that haymaker, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they're looking for.
Drew in backcourt, but it was tapped apparently and over and back, but picked up by Johnson. He's got Agbugu wraparound pass. Agbugu lays it up, and then he's got 6 assists. What a pass by Johnson.
Say that ain't so. Let's watch that again here on the replay.
48-47, Lafayette's lead cut to 1. Here comes Johnson out of there with the steal. Watch this behind the back wraparound pass to Agbugu for his 6th assist of the night.
That was special.
Luke Johnson. 48-47, Lafayette by 1 point. Nice finish to that quarter by Luke Johnson and Agbugu. And looking at the scoring now, thanks to WL Stats and Leanne and the WL Stats, 12 for Payne, 10 for Johnson, but he does have 6 assists, 10 for Downey, 10 for Ross Jenkins with 9 rebounds, and 13 for Lane. Those are your leading scorers in this ball game, Williams. So great balance, and what a great way to end that third quarter on the steal and the wraparound pass there by Luke Johnson to Agbugu, who finished it. I tell you what, that's the thing about Catholic you got to be impressed with, is the way they get out in transition. If you get a steal, you're going to have a teammate out there with you because they run the floor so well.
They are. They're out there, and just a great game right now. I mean, we're coming down to the wire here. This is going to be a good finish.
48-47. Lafayette has the lead. Catholic will have the basketball to start the fourth quarter. Down 1, and
give everybody another look at that Luke Johnson
highlight
assist.
reel. Just starting the fourth quarter to be Morris, Agbugu, Johnson, Payne, and Peter Whitman for Catholic. And for Lafayette, it'll be Downey Jenkins, Jaquante Carpenter, William Watkins, and Powell.
Give another shout out there to White, Greer, and Maggard Orthodontics. Want to thank them for all that they do here on the network. Dr. White and his great staff. Closest one's Beaumont.
Payne to the basket, draws the foul. Also thanks to Collins Bowling Center. They've got the $39 special right now, Collins Bowling Center. 2 great locations. Of course, the KHSA holds their bowling state championships at Eastland Lanes, at least they did last year.
Yeah.
And, of course, you got the one on Southland Drive right behind us here on Southland Drive, Collins Bowling Lanes. You know, everybody loves to bowl. Who doesn't love to bowl? I mean, you can be a bad bowler. You're still going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's family fun time. It's, you know. We take the kids sometimes, and even though they throw it in the gutter, most of it, still fun. They have a blast.
Have a great time.
Sometimes we get those little, what do they call, bumper? I don't know what they're called, but they put them in those little grooves.
Bumper guards, yeah.
So I don't know much about bowling, but I know it's fun.
I bowled in high school, believe it or not.
I can see that. You look like probably about he was probably about a 300 score guy.
Oh no, go down, way down. Shot out of the right side. And by the way, Catholic's got the lead now on those 2 free throws by Payne. I don't know if we mentioned that, but when's the last time Catholic had the lead? 49-48. They have it right now. Agbugu to the basket with some authority and draws the foul. Catholic taking a little bit of control right now this ball game.
Yeah, they may have been conserving a little bit. Obviously both teams have been hustling. I don't want to discredit that, but Catholic may have been saving back just a little bit, just try to finish this fourth quarter out today.
Free throw knocked down by Agbugu. I'm going to check his body of work for you now. J.J. Agbugu, he has 10 points and 8 rebounds. Second free throw, Agbugu rolls off, rebounded by Jaquante Carpenter. The edge, rebounding edge, 30 to 20 edge for Catholic on the boards, William. 30 to 20. They got a +10. Here's Lane, a long 3, and it rolls off, rebounded by Payne. Well, Payne's been the chairman of the boards tonight. 14 points, 10 rebounds. Johnson kicks it over to Ogbugu. 50-48, Catholic by 2. This has a lot of earmarks to that Trinity game. Payne turns around and scores.
And you get the nice fist pump there from Payne.
Catholic by 4, their biggest lead, 52-48, 6:21 to play. In the middle it goes now to Downey. Downey kicks it back out, Carpenter. Harrison Lane moves in behind the back. Lane kicks it in the corner. Carpenter lines up the 3, and that's off the rim, no. Rebounded by Johnson. Clears it out to Ogbugu. Ogbugu left side goes in on Lane, hangs off glass, rolls out. Carpenter, and there's going to be a whistle foul. Payne got a little bit overzealous that time.
Ogbugu, he tried to bank that in just a little too hard there. But another off, weak side foul there called against the Knights.
Zan Payne, 16 points, 10 rebounds. He leads everybody. Lane with 13 leads Lafayette. Ross Jenkins, 10 points, 9 rebounds. And your guy Downey has 10 points, William. So a lot of players in double figures in this game. Well-balanced game, well-played game. 2 good high school basketball teams. Lafayette, number 6 in the state. 12-3 record coming in. Carpenter rolls that free throw in. Timeout by Lafayette, 6:01 to play, 52-49. Catholic leading Lafayette. When we return here on Night Vision, thanks to UK Federal Credit Union.
I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White, Greer, and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White, Greer, and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White, Greer, and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
Both teams still in the timeout. Gary Ball, William Warfield here with you at Lexington Catholic High School. And Gary, coming out of timeout, still close ball game, 52-49. Lexington Catholic with a lead now.
Great balance in this game, William Warfield. You got 16 points, 10 rebounds for Mr. Payne. You got 10 points for Luke Johnson, 10 for Ogbugu, 9 for Morris. And in Lafayette, same thing. You got Ross Jenkins, 10 points, a rebound away from a double-double. You've got 13 for Lane, 10 for Downey, and then you've got 7 for Jenkins. Free throw knocked down by Carpenter. Great ball game. Catholic 52, Lafayette 50. 6:01 to play here in regulation. Gary Ball, William Warfield, Joe Allen, our videographer here on Night Vision. Johnson trying to work it across for the Knights, in trouble. Gets it up over now to Donnie Morris. Morris pounds it down, gives over to Ogbugu, quickly back to Morris. Skips it over to Johnson. Johnson looking at Payne, back it goes to Morris. Now they give it to Zan Payne, those 16 points. Zan may have a career night tonight. He's already got 16 points and 10 rebounds.
Yeah, he's definitely my player of the game so far.
Deep 3, back of the rim, won't go for Donnie Morris, and pulled out of there by Jalen Jenkins. Jenkins leads it out to Downey. Touch pass back to Jenkins. Jenkins works in Ogbugu. Carpenter to swing it down low, now to Watkins. Watkins moving, now in trouble. Loops it back out. You already had a Jackson Davis reference. I think he's watching tonight up in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Into the paint. Downey kicks it back over now to Jenkins. Back to T.J. Downey. 52-50. Ross Jenkins posting up.
That's one thing that Lexington Catholic's done well here in the second half is they kind of taken Ross out of the ball game a little bit.
Watkins tried to take it strong to the basket. A foul's going to be called. It's going to go on Peter Whitman. No, they called it on Payne. That's 3 on Payne. So Whitman's block was clean up top, apparently. 4:59 here in the game. At the line will be William Watkins, the senior. Missed the free throw. He hit 2 prior to that. Free throw shooting right now. How about Lafayette, William? 15 of 21 at the line. Catholic, 14 of 21 at the line. You know, to win tournaments, to win districts, and to get out of your region, you got to make free throws.
Yeah.
52-51, that's a bump foul, and I think they're going to call that on Watkins.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. He caught him with the body a little bit. And, this may come down to both coaches, they obviously know each other well. This may come down to a free throw shooting contest.
Got some special viewers out there tonight. Getting some good feedback.
We got a lot of people with some feedback tonight that has been pretty well.
52-51. Free throw knocked down by Donnie Morris. Boy, what a football player he was. I enjoyed covering him on the gridiron. What a great receiver he was. And he got them both. He's a good basketball player as well, just a great athlete. So Donnie Morris now with 9 points. 54-51. Knights by 3, leading the Generals of Lafayette. Payne out. And in the game is Fort Catholic. Whitman back in there, and Sparkman just checked in. Carpenter goes in on Whitman. Dumps it way out top. Kick it in the corner. Here's Powell's 3 off the iron. No. What a tap away. And there's Agbugu tracking it down, tipping it to himself. Agbugu goes in on Jenkins, lays it up and draws the foul. Shot wouldn't go, but the foul's going to be on the big fella, Ross Jenkins.
The roof in here would have lifted if that ball would have went down.
Only the second foul on big number 44, Ross Jenkins. Jenkins had a strong first half, but been quiet here in the second half, William. In the first half, he had most of his production, 10 points and 9 rebounds.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, is Lexington Catholics figured out a way. Must have been that halftime speech that they made some adjustments with, but they figured out a way to shut Jenkins down pretty much.
Catholic now leading 56-51, 4:35 to play. That's the biggest lead the Knights have had tonight. They took that point off. Now they put it back. That's the biggest lead they've had, 4:34.
And Lafayette was up to, a 5-point lead? That was the biggest one that they've had?
It's been a great 43rd district battle, which it normally is between these two teams.
They played in the district final last year too, right?
Yes. And
over at Tate's Creek.
Yes. And who could forget that when Jackson Davis played at Lafayette, who can forget that performance he had that night when he had, 32 points and was it 30 rebounds?
Yep. There's been some special moments you and I have been able to take in with these two.
Downey couldn't get that runner to go, and it goes out of bounds back to Lafayette. They got to free Harrison Lane up for some threes. He hit 3 big threes in the first half, but Catholic has really clamped down here on defensively in the second half on Lane and Ross Jenkins. Held him pretty much in check. I say that. Lane kicks it over now to Downey. They go in the corner. Carpenter's 3 rattles in and out, went halfway down. Jenkins here to clear and put it in.
30-second timeout going to be called.
56-53. Ross Jenkins' stick back has cut it to 3. 3:59 to go here in this ball game. Stay tuned after the game for our post-game show. And again, we want to thank both Coach Michael Mendenhall Jr. and Brandon Salzman for joining us on Night Vision on the pregame as we were able to chat with them. And that's a great feature, William, that we try to give to the viewers. I know Coach DeForest and I did a lot of that in the Traditional Bank Holiday Classic. Look forward to working with him. We got some great games coming up on Night Vision. My next broadcast will be Saturday night, and Mason County, who's got a good ball club, will be in here Saturday night for that one here at 7:30.
Yeah, that should be a good game. You'll have a lot of blue in here that night.
A lot of royal blue, right? Matter of fact, literally Royals, Mason County Royals coming to town.
Yeah.
They got a good ball club. They're one of the favorites in the 10th region.
History.
A lot of history. Can you say Chris Lofton? Can you say Darius Miller? 2 of the best players to ever come out of this state came out of Mason County.
Yep.
56-53. Catholic, a lot of tradition as well.
Trevor Setti.
Exactly right. Johnson lines up to 3. Off the iron, no. Peter Whitman grabs it. Great offensive board work. Kicks it way out to Donovan Morris. 3:37. Well, that's a big offensive rebound there by Whitman. Don't discredit that. Whitman gets it on the baseline out to Johnson. Fakes, goes down the middle. Little hanger with the right hand, won't roll, but he draws the foul. That's where Luke Johnson separates himself. The ability to go to the basket, go either way with the left hand and the right hand. The players just don't know which way he's going to go.
There is not a guy in the state of Kentucky, in my opinion, that can guard Luke Johnson. He's just, he's got that playground type of basketball skill set out there that just makes it hard to guard, and it's the same kind of thing that Pistol Pete had, that made him so famous, being a small guy, being able to shoot the way he did.
And everybody's saying, well, come on, he's got 10 points, but you know what? The rest of his game, he's got 7 assists tonight, so he could have a double-double, points and assists.
Yeah, he's good, man. I haven't seen anybody that I think that could guard him, and he's played a lot of big teams so far this year.
And he knocks down that free throw. He has 11 points to go with those 7 assists, 57-53. Here's a three-pointer, rattled in there by Carpenter. He tried one earlier that came out on him, and Jaquante's like any good shooter, especially when you wear that number 23 of Michael Jordan. You're going to keep firing it, aren't you?
Yeah, that was a big-time shot.
57-56. 1 point lead. This one's going down to the wire. I think William Moorfield's right. This could be a buzzer beater. Foul called, and it's going to go before the shot by Johnson.
It's the beach night here tonight with Lexington Catholic. Everybody dressed for the beach.
I think I see my intern down there. I saw earlier Brittany Light, new interns on the Scholastic ball court. She's usually in the front row down there. Of course, this Sunday, we're on Sunday, ACC basketball Saturday, so check out High School Sports at Scholastic Ball Report. We're in our 13th season.
That's amazing.
Of that show.
That's one of the longest local cable or local running shows, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is. We're proud of it. 59-56. Johnson knocked down that second free throw. Lead is 3 for Catholic. 2:48 to go here. Downey crossing over. Downey lost a handle on it, and they're going to say it was touched there by Catholic. And I don't blame Ogbugu. He's looking like, did I knock that out? Lane lobs it to Ross Jenkins. Back to Harrison Lane. Thought about the three. Dumps it down to Jenkins on Whitman. Won't go. Whitman, good defense. Ogbugu clears it out to Johnson. Johnson streaking down the right side. Crossing over. That's what I'm talking about. Puts it up right hand. No. Jenkins there battling. Rips off the rebound. Big rebound by Ross Jenkins. Got his double-double now.
Johnson put a little cradle on that move on the other end, didn't he?
Lane hanging and fouled by Whitman as he blew by Zan Payne. I tell you what balance tonight for Catholic. 11 for Donnie Morse, 12 for Ogbugu, 13 for Johnson, 14 for Payne in this ball game.
You know, and Catholic's coming off of, a loss up against St. Henry up there in Northern Kentucky.
That blew my mind because that's not a great. That's really the only blemish on their season. I think there was not a good loss because St. Henry is not a really good team this year. They don't have a winning record. Everybody else is pretty much ranked in the state.
Yeah, I mean, I guess sometimes you just need that. You need a loss like that just to get, like that spark. Not that it's not been lit, but, certainly they had a long bus ride home that night.
Oh, yeah, very long. Believe me, I've played St. Henry in that little gym up there. I know exactly. They built a new one, I think, when I played up in the 9th region. St. Henry always 57. Catholic 2:10 to play. Johnson's got it. Johnson into the paint area. Now hands it back out to his teammate T.C. Price. Price just checked in. Timeout by Coach Salzman.
This is a good timeout right here.
Real good timeout. 2:02 to go in the ball game. It's Lexington Catholic 59, Lexington Lafayette 57. We'll return here thanks to Collins Bowling Centers and also UK Federal Credit Union. William?
And White Greer and Maggard.
White Greer and Maggard as well here on Night Vision.
I am Lee, and I'm happy with my smile.
And I'm other Lee, and I ain't happy with my smile.
I went to White Greer and Maggard, and they fixed my smile for me.
And I never smile, and that's why I'm having some alone time here at dinner.
I love that I can go to White Greer and Maggard with all my questions.
And I love that I don't have to brush my teeth at night.
Don't be like this, me. Go to White Greer and Maggard for a picture-perfect smile.
Gary Ball with William Warfield and 59-57. What's new? It's a 43rd district battle. It's Lafayette, it's Catholic, and it's going down to the wire, William Warfield. They generally do. No pun intended, of course, Lafayette.
Yeah, and again, you can count all the times that we've seen these two teams hook up and get these games on, Gary, and every time we do it, it gets better and better.
Javen Harden in there, the freshman. Number 1 jumps up, loops it over to Morris. Morris in on Jenkins, trying to dump it back. Ross Jenkins read that all the way. Did you see that? He read that pass from Morris the whole way and picked it off.
He's Lafayette's telegrapher. He's got good court vision.
Timeout called as Harrison Lane checks back in, and also Powell for Coach Michael Mendenhall III. 1:43 to go in regulation, 59-57. Let's look at some numbers for you. Knight shooting 42% tonight from the field. Lexington Catholic on 17 of 48 from the field. Lafayette 17 of 47. That's 36%. Rebounding, the edge is for Catholic 35 to 24, and Agbugu and Payne have 10 rebounds to lead the way, 7 for Whitman. So Big Peter Whitman has 7 rebounds, William. Looking at Lafayette, they've got Jenkins with 11 rebounds and 12 points. Lane leads them with 14 points, and he's back in the ball game. The sharpshooter had 3 big threes in the first half.
And I've got a final to report to you as well, Gary.
Okay.
Is over there at Lexington Christian tonight. West Jessamine knocks off the Eagles 83 to 74.
Johnson leads it out. Agbugu, he hangs and scores. Agbugu now leading the way with 14 points.
Those two have hooked up pretty good tonight.
Downey, right side. He put the shot up that rolled in, but they're going to say the shot did not count, that he was fouled before the shot. They would have cut it to 2. Minute 14 foul went on Luke Johnson, by the way. That's 4 on LJ. 61-57. That will send Downey to the line. He will shoot the double bonus. Down to that, doesn't it?
It does. I want to send a shout out to former commissioner watching tonight. It's Bridget DeVries tuning in.
Shout out to Bridget. Taking in some basketball tonight, high school variety between Lafayette and Lexington Catholic, her alma mater.
Even in her retirement, she can't get enough high school sports.
She graduated from Lexington Catholic.
Yep. I knew that. Yes, sir. I seen her picture out there on the wall.
Well, big free throws by Downey. 61-59. And Night Vision will return Saturday night. Mason County will be the opponent here at Lex Cath. And we got 2 big games coming up next week, William, with Rick Ford and Great American Rivalry Series.
We do. We got Dunbar, Lexington Catholic going on over there at Dunbar, and then Fern Creek and J-Town.
Steal by Carpenter. Here comes Lafayette. Carpenter to the basket on Johnson, who's got 4 fouls. Throws it up. No, there's Ross tapping it up. And let's see, who do they credit that with?
It went off Lexington Catholic, but they're going to give it to Jenkins, Ross Jenkins.
Jenkins with the tip in, gets the basket. We are tied at 61, and Lexington Catholic's 4-point lead has been evaporated. We're tied at 61 with 50.6 to go. And Ross Jenkins now with 14 points and 12 rebounds.
Let's see if we can, I'm going to see if we can rewind the film just a little bit and see if we can see.
I think Jenkins got a handle. I think they credit it to Ross Jenkins on that basket, on that tip.
Let me see here. All right, so here you go. There you see Z Payne swinging at it. And right there, yeah, it's off of Lexington Catholic, I think.
Yeah, got a left paw on him, maybe Agbugu.
Yeah, 4.
That's Agbugu.
Yeah, Agbugu. He's the young.
But what a game he's had tonight. 14 points for Agbugu and 10 rebounds. 16 points and 10 rebounds for Payne. Lafayette being led by a bunch of folks as well. We talked about balance, William Warfield. Jenkins, 14 points, 12 rebounds. Harrison Lane, 14 points. And Downey, 12 points. And that's balance right there for both ball clubs. That's why we got a 61-61 ball game with 51 seconds left.
Yeah, it's going to be a good finish. I mean, we're talking, Gary. It's going to come down to the wire. It wouldn't surprise me if we had an overtime here tonight,
or a buzzer beater.
And you know, we've seen many of buzzer beaters.
We sure have.
Just over the traditional bank classic that they had here.
That's one of the best tournaments anywhere, that traditional bank holiday. That's one of the best tournaments.
In my opinion,
anywhere.
It's the best one in the state.
I think it is too. A lot of people talk about the king of the bluegrass and the LIT, but for my money, I go with the traditional bank classic.
I mean, those are very good.
A steal by Downey of Lafayette. And they get the quick timeout. Downey got the steal, and they got the timeout.
And Lafayette may hold for that, try to run some clock out and then take their opportunity here.
Coach Salzman conferring with Tommy Houston and his coaching staff. Of course, Matt Heisenbuttle, a member of that staff as well, former UK player. That was just a great defense by Downey, William. He just stripped the ball.
I know his mom's proud of him, and every time I see her, she works at the Walgreens over in Nicholasville, so I'm in there a lot. My wife works there as well, but
right.
every time I go in there, she always talks about how great her son is. And, you know, I agree. I mean, he steps up and does his job out there.
As I was talking to Coach Mendenhall and Coach Salzman, they both, when you talk about Lafayette, you talk about Harrison Lane because he's a three-point shooter and a assassin.
Mm-hmm.
Jenkins is a double-double machine. He probably leads the area in double-doubles.
Yeah.
But they both brought up Mr. Downey. They said he has been a great cog in this Lafayette wheel this year, and he certainly has tonight with 12 big points. Got the huge steal there with just 45 seconds left and a tie game.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's often overlooked, you know, but he definitely is one of those forces.
But never underappreciated.
That's right. Coach Mendenhall knows who he has there.
Jenkins going to pound it down, and Coach Mendenhall talking to his senior guard from the bench. Jenkins bumped and attack. That foul is going to be called with 20 seconds.
And that's not a bad thing right there. You've seen the free throw shooting tonight. It hasn't been that great.
Lafayette 19 of 27 at the line.
Yeah, so that's 8 misses.
Catholic's 21 of 29 at the line. So Catholic shot free throws better.
Well, both teams missed 8 from the line tonight.
Yeah, that's 8 points you've left out there.
16 total in the ball games. I mean, they're below average. Both teams right now below average on scoring. So
free throw knocked down by Jenkins. Jalen now with 8 points. William Watkins checks in for Lafayette. 62-61 Generals. A lot of time left though. 29.8 seconds. That is a lot of time, isn't it? Got them both. 63-61 Lafayette. Catholic has the ball. Johnson over to Morris. Back to Luke Johnson. We said this might be a buzzer beater. Can it be a three here? Coach Salzman wants a timeout to set it up with 21 seconds to go. And Lafayette leading 63-61. William Warfield, a barn burner here at the Buter Gymnasium.
it is a barn burner, no doubt about it. And Salzman going to go to the old playbook right now and see what he can come up with. And Coach Mendenhall just trying to prevent what we think is going to be the inevitable here, is possibly in overtime.
One timeout left, I'm told by Leanne of WO Stats. No timeouts now for Catholic. They just called their last.
That's good to know, because Catholic scores quick here.
Ross Jenkins, who's one of the leading field goal shooters in the state tonight, is 6 of 7 from the field for 85%. Has 12 rebounds.
Let's talk about that timeout for a second. So if Catholic scores quicker, do you score? If you're talking to your team, do you say, hey, let's hold it and then try to go for it? Do you go for the win? Do you go for the 2 to tie?
Yeah. Well,
but you want to run that clock down, right?
Right. You just saw the strategy by Catholic. They fouled Lafayette, but it backfired because they hit both free throws.
Right.
So Lafayette leads by 2. Let's see, as you said, William, what Catholic does here. If I'm Catholic, I want to take this last shot. I don't want to give Lafayette another possession.
Does Lafayette
18
foul?
seconds. 17. Johnson into the paint, spinning. Kicks it back. Donnie Morris lines up to 3 off the iron. No, rebounded by Jenkins, and
over the back.
Be a foul called. Jenkins there with the rebound. Somebody might have gone over big number 44's back, and he's walking straight to the free throw line like he's ready to shoot a couple free throws.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the call was. Foul on Ogbugu was his second.
It was a good look.
Yeah, Ogbugu's really been crashing the boards tonight. He's got 10 rebounds, William. That time he crashed over top of big. It's hard to go through 44. He's 6'6", about 220. And the free throw rolls off, so still a chance for Catholic. Still 10.3 seconds to go. And just a 2, even if he makes this, Catholic could hit a 3 to, as William Warfield already predicted, possibly an overtime game. But let's see what Mr. Jenkins does here. Ross, second one, got it. 3-point lead. Catholic needs a 3 to tie. To give it back to Johnson. Luke crosses the court. Way out top. Luke into the basket, throws it up, and it goes in with 1.3 seconds. And
Coach Mendenhall wanted a timeout. Somebody called a timeout for Lafayette. Lexington Catholic had no timeout.
Right.
So that helps Lexington Catholic out here.
Coach Mendenhall's upset with the officials. And somebody
he might want to watch it, Coach. They're wanting to get a technical there.
64-63. Let me ask you, William. I would never question Luke Johnson. He's a terrific player.
Yeah.
But you know if you hit that shot, unless you get fouled, you're still down by 1. I'm not sure why you're not trying to set somebody up for a three-pointer there to tie it up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, I agree, but Lafayette's bailed Lexington Catholic out here.
Yeah, the timeout was called, and Coach Salzman talking to the officials now.
Are they going to charge Lexington Catholic with a timeout?
They had no timeouts left.
If somebody called it, though, we got a Chris Webber situation.
Yeah, Coach Salzman saying that 1.3 seconds. He's talking to the officials. What another ball game. What a great game here tonight. Catholic has been involved in so many of these tight ball games this year. And another one with Lafayette, 64-63. The officials are talking now, William. Lafayette's the only team that had a timeout left, so unless Lafayette called that timeout, that'd be a technical foul against Catholic.
Yeah.
64-63.
Well, they haven't called a technical, but Coach Mendenhall, he was out in the middle of the floor, almost on the logo there. He was
coach
trying to get to the official, and the
assistant coach had to refrain him.
They bring him back over there. So here we go.
Lane will put it in play.
They're trying to. Yeah, I was going to say there's Spartman beating up on Ross Jenkins there.
Yeah. 1.3 seconds. They're going to get the sharpshooter Blake Scott into the game with his three-point shooting ability, because if Jenkins hits both of these, you've got to hit a long three to send it to overtime.
That's what it was over on the sidelines. Is Coach Salzman said, I don't care what you do, but I don't want this ball inbounds. I just want you to tear up Ross Jenkins now.
Yep, and that's what they did. And Big Ross goes to the free throw line, and he knocks it down. Ross Jenkins, 15 points, 12 rebounds for the big fella. That's about his average. That's about what he's been averaging this year.
Now you could have a Christian Leitner type moment coming up.
That was 1.3, wasn't it?
It was closer. Here you go. You're going to have an inbounds pass here. You don't want to go
Jenkins got them both. Johnson throws it up, and it's off the mark, and Lafayette escapes. Lafayette literally escapes. 66-63. Great high school ball game here tonight. Lafayette moves to 13-3 on the season with their record.
Lexington Catholic, I think Salzman wanted a long pass there, and it was short. And I don't know. Salzman looks very, very upset right now.
Lafayette 66, Lexington Catholic 63. We'll come back and wrap things up here from the Buter Gymnasium. Another great high school basketball game, and it's won by Lafayette 66-63 over Lexington Catholic. Back here on the post-game show, 66-63. Lexington Lafayette, the state's number 7th ranked team, knocks off Catholic 66-63. Another great high school basketball game here at the Buter Gymnasium. And William, we've had a number of these games this year, but I'll tell you what, you got to give Lafayette a lot of credit. They went to the line there late in the game, and they knocked down some big free throws, which we said the team that's going to win this game would do, and that's what they did.
That's exactly what they did, and it came down to the wire, Gary, and if there was a couple more minutes, we're going to have a different outcome here for the Knights. But Lexington Catholics played close all year long. But they just haven't been able to finish it.
Plus 10 rebounding for the Knights, 35-25. But listen to this. Lafayette made 24 free throws. Catholic made 21. Difference in the ball game was 3 points. So those three free throws that Lafayette hit there late in the game, difference in the game. But Catholic hits the boards, 35-25, plus 10 rebounding edge for the Knights here tonight.
Yep. They played well in the ball game. It was just that last minute there that Coach Salzman wanted one thing, and I don't think that they executed on the floor is what ended up happening.
Yeah, Luke ended up getting a long, deep shot. He thought he was fouled, but no call, and then the shot was well off the mark. So Lafayette wins it. They go to 13-3 on the season, the Generals. And Catholic, I tell you what, they keep dropping these close games, William. They've dropped several of those this year. Their record could be sterling, but they're playing really good competition. I mean, we saw it in the traditional bank tournament and the great teams they played, and we've seen it throughout this season. The only really bad blemish was that St. Henry loss the other night. But this is a good Catholic team.
It is.
They're much, much better than their sub-500 record.
Again, and you got to think, Lexington Catholic had a totally different starting lineup last year than what they have this year, and it's going to take time to build it, and Coach Salzman right now, he's just preparing his team to go down the stretch, and right now it doesn't matter. I mean, you're talking about district seeding. I mean, obviously that might have a little impact on you, but this game, other than that district seeding, it doesn't matter. I think Salzman's going to have his group, have his team ready to go wherever they're seated at, and they'll be ready to play come playoff time.
Oh, they'll be outstanding in the tournaments, and Lafayette will be a tough out as well with that size and shooting that they have. Tonight, as you see on the graphic there, they're your leading scorers, Ross Jenkins. That's about his average on the season. I mean, the guy's just a double-double machine, 17 points, 12 rebounds tonight. Most of Harrison Lane's 14 came in that first half when he was knocking down those threes. And then Catholic, what can you say about Agbugu? 10 rebounds tonight, really crashed the boards. And Zan Payne, another double-double for Zan Payne. Payne and Ross Jenkins right now lead the area in double-doubles, I'm sure.
I would imagine so. Payne has really impressed me this year. And Ross Jenkins, I mean, we knew that he was going to be a superstar coming in to this season. There's no doubt about that. And, hats off to the Generals tonight. They go home with a big district win, and they're kind of in the driver's seat right now along with Dunbar. Yeah, well, great working with you again, William Warfield, and we'll be back. I'll be back here Saturday to call the Mason County Catholic game on Night Vision Saturday night with William at 7:30. So check that one out on Night Vision. Looking forward to that as always. Should be another great game. Mason County brings a really good 10th region team in here Saturday night. They do, and that should be a good game. A lot of blue will be in here that night. I think they ought to do the Blues night. Yeah. They did Beach night tonight. Why don't they do the Blues night?
Let's get John Belushi in here.
There you go.
Blues Brothers.
Let's do the Blues Brothers on
Thanks to both coaches, Michael Mendenhall and Brandon Salzman, for joining us on the pregame show. For William Warfield and Joe Allen, this is Gary Ball from Buter Gymnasium. Your final score tonight in the 43rd District Showdown, Lexington Lafayette 66, Lexington Catholic 63. Till Saturday night, Mason County comes to town. Thanks for watching Night Vision.